Did you know that in Mexico, there are languages other than Spanish that have survived for centuries? I'm gonna share something special to me. It's my language, Chong, a Mayan dialect. Chuko nga meng bache anyet nga. Ochen nga kingen kenge ingita bukcha pacha anyet nga. I will tell you a little bit about its history, characteristics, and the challenge we face today to keep it alive. I will also share some words and phrases so you can understand a bit about my language. So, if you ever wonder how an ancient language sounds, I invite you to discover it with me. In Mexico, there are 68 indigenous languages in addition to Spanish. My native language is Chong, the language of my ancestors and my present-day community. Chong comes from the Mayan culture. Mayan languages form part of Mesoamerican language family. Mayan languages are spoken by over 6 million people in southern Mexico and northern Central America, mainly in Guatemala, Mexico, Belize, El Salvador, and Honduras. Who are the Chong people? We, the Chong, are the indigenous people of the state of Chiapas, Mexico. We live in self-sustaining agriculture communities for a long time. Chong people are descent from the classic Mayan culture era. We are farmers, growing maize, squash, beans, fruit. We also hunt and fish to survive. We have been living in Lancandon jungle since the classic Maya period. Before I continue, there are two Spanish terms you should know. The first one is reducciones, where settlements of the Spanish crown and the Catholic Church, where indigenous people were forced or had no choice to go there. They were forced to take the Spanish names, speak Spanish language, and practice Christianity. The second one is encomiendas, was a Spanish system where conquerors were given control over the labor of conquered indigenous people. The idea was that conquerors would offer protection and education in return for labor, but in reality, it was forced labor of slavery. In 1530, the Spanish invaded the Lancandon jungle where the Chong lived. The Spanish forced the Chong into areas called reducciones. They were forced to work on encomiendas for the Spanish crown. To get away from Spanish slavery, we moved deeper into the jungle to make a new towns where we could be free or do our own farming, practice our language and culture. My dad told me a bit of oral history about these times. He's gonna share with you.
Nya shambo wini ko be ya buta ko tio cha ti za ko tio wai ta kai so ben che lo kan mi ka lo chi chel ma ni ki cho lo pon pon chik len chel go kol ti yu bi yo ishbora che bo tashi cha pa yo bi same ku cha chi yo humpe al let ba ora ti choko yo bi ko cho ba bi che da lo yo ma ba tash ma yo jak ti ho mo sa ma yo bu bi hin yal oto chak ya le che chak bu ba da ko ti ko yo bi tukum ko stali che ba che hin hin nyu sa ke la nyo te lo bi ta ko cha an ba che hin ni hu ya go kol cha ti yu yo ma sta ku ti kale yo ta ko ti yo ba che ta cho kai che ko yal che chen ya ba ta ke yo ma pan mi cha ve ni ku ki ta bu me li yo chi le li que ta chik len chia pero che chik no se yo hin la chat yo ta lo yo chile ko yo ya lo bi lo ni me cha ta ma yo chi chan ta ma yo ba che chak an ali I che chi bal ili lak cham bui ili ol bui sel tal bui yan chak bui chani chi mo cha bi ta ma yo che ta cho so yo chak bu hin la pi lo ba chin.
Chong and other indigenous languages have been replaced by Spanish, which became the official language in Mexico. But in rural communities like mine, Chong remains our main language. Chong is descendant of classic Maya language. It's spoken in the state of Chiapas, Mexico. According to the 2020 census, about 250,000 people speak this Mayan language in Mexico. Chong is related to other Mayan languages like Tsengtang, Tzotzil, and Quiche. The Chong language is divided into 3 dialects. Chong of Tinga, spoken by almost 44,000 people in Chiapas. This is where I'm from. Chong of Tumbanga, spoken by 90,000 people. Chong means field, which is farming, because agriculture and fields are so important to our life. We call the men of our ethnicity Wiñik, which is a Mayan word meaning men or men. We believe that we were created from maize, which is the sacred food given to us by our God. And we call God Chuhutyat. We call the woman Ishik. We refer to the Mexican society as Kashgan to describe the foreigners, those who don't produce food. Speaking Chong in my present day connects me to my family, community, and tells me who I am and where I come from. If we lose our language, we also lose ourselves. That's why it's crucial to support the preservation of indigenous dialects. But Chong, like many other indigenous languages, faces many challenges today. One of the biggest issues for Chong language is being replaced by Spanish. Young people, especially those who live in cities or more urbanized areas, prefer to speak Spanish because it's the language of education and work. Also, racism and prejudice against indigenous people from non-indigenous people through lack of legal status. For example, all government paperwork is in Spanish. This system stops us using Chong names and use Spanish names to be able to get ID cards, visit hospitals, and get deeds for land. Fewer people to speak Chong or their main dialect, and many children no longer learn it as their first language. Schools often don't have bilingual programs or educational material in Chong or other dialects, which limits learning opportunities for children. In my community, the younger generation still speak Chong, but they also speak Spanish. However, Spanish is becoming more common, and many young people are using it more often. I worry that future generations may stop speaking the language of our ancestors, while Spanish is important for opportunities in the modern world. Chong has a 6-vowel system. A, E, I, O, U, E. Chong phonetics and pronunciation were matched against the Spanish alphabet to create Chong alphabet. There are 29 letters, and here is an example of their pronunciation. A bany, B, B, Che, Cha, Che, Chum, Ek, I, Ishik, Jota, Haas, Ka, Kong, Ka, Kak, Ene, Num, Eme, Motso, Ene, Nyecheng, Enye, Nyahan, Ochoj, Pe, Pek, Pu, Pots, Ere, Rok, Ese, Sikotsip, Tja, Tjakich, Tso, Tsoi, Tsa, Tsak, Ki, Chan, Ki, Chakin, Ukeng, Wuh, Wachan, She, Shechen, Ya, Yak, Atsam, Tsuk, Ha. One of the most interesting features of our language is the bagesimal number system, which is based on the number 20 because we have 20 fingers between our hands and feet. Here are the first 20 numbers. Humpe, chape, ushpe, chumpe, hope, wukpe, wukpe, wushukpe, bongompe, nguhumpe, hungumpe, chat nguhumpe, ush nguhumpe, chun nguhumpe, hot nguhumpe, wuk nguhumpe, wuk nguhumpe, washak nguhumpe, bongo nguhumpe, hunkang. If you speak a dialect, let me know which one is it. Leave your comment below. I would love to connect with you. If you want to know more about this or other topic, I will be happy to share with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about Chong and to listen my story. See you soon.